Today we learn the mathematics 3 under the BTech courses. For the computer science and engineering, it is paper code is MCSC 301. For the information technology, paper code is MIT 301. Today's lecture class is lecture 33 for the computer science and engineering, MCSC 301, and for information technology, lecture is 30. Topics is graph theory. For computer science and engineering, MCSC 301, module is 6, and for MIT 301, information technology, module is 5. Today we learn theorem, example, and few definitions related to the graph theory. First theorem, theorem 1. This is basically known as the theorem 1. The sum of the degree of all vertices in a graph is twice the number of edges in the graph. We already learned what is called the degree of a vertex. If we add the degree of the vertices, that is equal to the as many edges in the graph twice of that. We have to prove that. This is also known as the handshaking theorem. This is known as the first theorem of the graph theory and also known as the handshaking theorem. How it is handshaking, that I discuss little bit after finishing the proof of the theorem. The sum of the degree of all the vertices, each and every vertices have the degree. If we sum up, then we will get the degree of the vertices. Suppose V1, V2, V3 is the vertices of the graph, then degree of the V1, degree of V2, degree of V3, and if has the n number of vertices, then degree of Vn. Adding, we will get a value, numerical value, and that would be the integer value, and that graph has the number of edges, that is the twice of the number of edges equal. That we have to prove. Let G be a graph. Let E be an edge of the graph. Let G be a graph with n number of vertices and E number of edges. We can say like that. Let G be a graph with n number of vertices and E number of edges. Let E be an edge of the graph G, that graph G. And that G also we can write like that, G within the bracket V, E. That means V is the vertex set, E is the edge set. If E be a self loop, then it contributes towards the sum of the degree of all the vertices is 2, because contribution of the self loop degree is twice. Contribution of a self loop degree for a vertex is 2, that we learned in the previous class. That's why we are writing, if E be a self loop, then it contributes towards the sum of the degree of all the vertices is 2. Again, if is not a self loop, then it is incident on the 2 distinct vertices. That means for one edge, we need the 2 distinct vertices if it is not a self loop. Suppose Vi and Vz, 2 the distinct vertices for the edge E. That means E, that edge E contributes 1 degree to Vi and 1 degree to Vz. That means each and every edge contributes the 2 degree, 1 degree in one end vertices and 1 degree in the other end vertices, except for the self loop. Self loop contributes the 2 degree for the same vertex. But basically it is the same. That means we can say each and every edge contributes 2 degree for a graph. So that is E contributes 2 to the sum of degree of all vertices of G. So from that we can conclude, in sum of the degree of all the vertices in G equal to twice the number of edges in the graph G. That means each and every vertex contributes the 2 degree. So total degree is 2 into D, 2 into E, that is number of edge. And if we sum up the degree of the vertices for all the vertex, we'll get that value that is equal to the twice the number of edges in the graph G. See, if we explain with the help of this graph, now see how many graph is here. How many vertices and how many edges is here. How many vertex? V1, V2, V3, V4 and V5. 5 vertices is there. And what are the degree of the sum? This is 3 degree, this is 3 degree, this is 3 degree. So 3 vertex of the 3 degree. 9 plus. This is the 4 degree vertex. Because self loop contributes the 2 degree and this edge contributes the 2 degree. So V2 vertex is degree 4 and vertex V5 has degree 1. If we sum up 3 plus 3 plus 3, 9 plus 4, 13 plus 1 is the 14. So sum of the degree of the vertices, we got the 14 and number of edges is here 7. E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, E6, E7. So 2 into 7 is equal to 14. It is verified. Theorem, the number of odd degree vertices of any graph is always even. The number of odd degree vertices in any graph is always even. We already learned in the previous class what is called the odd degree vertex and what is called the even degree vertex. Odd degree vertex in number is the even number. Suppose one vertex have the degree 1, another vertex is degree 3. So like that, number of odd degree vertex always be even. Now we are going to prove it. Let G be a graph. Let G be a graph with n number of vertices and e number of edges. That means in a graph G, we have n number of vertices and n number of edges. Let in the graph G, O, we are denoting the set of all the odd degree vertices, and E, we are denoting the set of all the even degree vertices. O is the set which is including all the odd degree vertex, and E is set of all the even degree vertices. From the previous theorem, we know the sum of the degree of all the vertices in a graph is twice number of edges in the graph. That means sum of the degree of the vertices is equal to the 2 into E. E is the number of edges in the graph. We can say that. That is summation I is equal to n. dvi is equal to twice E. That is we learned from the previous theorem. No, it should be written like that. Okay. That we can write in this way. I is equal to 1 to n. dvi I equal to 1 to n. So degree, sum of the degree of the vertices is equal to twice E from the previous theorem. Now we can break it into the two part. One containing the odd degree vertex and another part is containing the even degree vertex. Right hand side is the twice E because the graph has the E number of edges. So this degree of the vertices we can group into the two part. Then we can write from this as O is denoting the odd degree vertices, degree of Vj plus E is the group of the even degree vertex, dvk is equal to twice E. Instead of the k, we can write also the I, no problem. This is we are calling as a 1. Now O dvj is equal to sum of the degree of odd degree vertices. We will get a numerical value, integer value, and from this also we will get a integer value. and this is right hand side. If we check in the right hand side of the 1, since it is 2 into e, so this is a even number. Straight away we can say 2e is a even number. Now sum of this is degree is even. In the second part of the relation or equation 1, the second term, sum of degree of even degree vertices. That means second term is always the even. Right hand side is always the even. So it is possible right hand side is even, this is even, so this should be the even. So this part, sum of the degree of the odd degree vertices. So from this we can conclude that summation I is equal to n dvi, this should be the dvj, this should be dvj is even, and twice e is always even, and hence from 1 we can say this part is even, this part is even. So from we can conclude that O odd sum, odd degree vertices sum is equal to even number. So I is equal to 1 to n, dvi is even and 2 is always even. So we can say odd degree sum, this should be the k. This should be k. This is k. This is not 1 to n, this should be the e and dvk. And twice e is always even. So we can say this part and this part is always even. Since the right hand side is even, so only possible this part is even. So we can say odd degree sum is must be even. Now if we check carefully, sum of two odd numbers is even, but sum of three odd numbers is odd. So from that we can conclude, since sum of the odd degree, that means the sum of odd number is even, so that is the number of vertices of odd degree should be the even number. If we add 1 plus 3 is equal to 4, 3 plus 5 is equal to 8, 3 plus 5 plus 3 is odd number. Always sum of odd number equal to even, it should be the even number. In counting, it should be the even number. So from that we can conclude, since only sum of even number of some odd number is even. Even number sum is always even, so we can say there are the even number of the terms in the summation. Hence, the number of odd degree vertices in a graph is always even. When the sum of odd numbers is the even, then it is in counting, it should be the in a number is the even number. So hence, we can conclude that the number of odd degree vertices in a graph is always even number. The number of even degree vertices may be odd or even, because sum of even number because 2 plus 4 is equal to even, 2 plus 4 plus 6 is equal to even. So sum of the even numbers is even, it may be in counting odd or even, both. Theorem, degree of any vertex in a simple graph with n vertices cannot exceed n minus 1. What is called the simple graph? Degree of any vertex in a simple graph with n vertices cannot exceed n minus 1. Simple graph means a graph without the self loop and parallel edges. A graph without the self loop and parallel edges is known as the simple graph. Proof. Let G be a simple graph with n number of vertices and e number of edges. Let V be a vertex of graph G. Let us consider a vertex of the graph G. Let degree of V equal to K. For our assumptions, let us consider degree of V. Instead of dg, we can write also the dv equal to the k. So by definition, key number of edges are incident with V. When the degree, what is the definition of the degree of a vertex? Number of edges incident to the vertex. That means if we consider the V is the vertex, that means k number of edges incident to that vertex. So from that we can conclude again, G is a simple graph. It is free from the self loop and the parallel edges, and hence other ends of these k edges incident on V are distinct. That means there is the key number of vertex is there. V is one vertex and there is suppose V1 to Vk. All from the vertex edges are incident to V. Therefore, there exists at least k number of vertices apart from V. So from that we can write how many vertices we have in the graph. N number of vertices in the graph. So if we consider V and another k number of vertex, so how many vertex we will get? K plus 1. V is one vertex where whose degree is k. That means k number of edges incident to the V, and that in vertices we are considering V1, V2, Vk. That means as per our consideration in number of vertex in our the graph. So out of V and other k vertex, how many vertex we have? K plus 1. So n is greater than equal to k plus 1. From that we can conclude n is the number of vertex in the graph which is greater than equal to k plus 1, because we are considering k is the degree of the V. As per assumption, it cannot be greater than n, or it cannot be equal to the n. So k plus 1. So n is greater than equal to k plus 1. It may be equal to or greater than. So from that we can write by changing the side, k is less than equal to n minus 1. That is the degree of V. What is the k? Degree of V. So degree of V less than equal to n minus 1. Hence proof what I said, degree of any vertex in a simple graph cannot exceed n minus 1. So it is less than equal to, it may be maximum n minus 1, hence proof. The maximum number of edges in a connected simple graph with n vertices is n into n minus 1 by 2. Connected and disconnected are not discussed, but I can say a little bit about that, what is called the connected and disconnected graph. Let us see, I see the one graph. See, if I take this graph, all the vertices is connected. These vertices are connected. All the vertices is connected. If any vertex is there which is not connected to the other, any one of the vertex by an edge, then that is known as the disconnected graph. Suppose if we consider these two at a time a graph, this and this part if we consider a graph G, then considering these two is a disconnected graph, because this and this vertex is not connected to other the vertex. So it is the one group and this is the another group. This is known as the disconnected graph. And if we consider itself one, then it is a connected graph. This is the connected graph. If we consider this two is a one graph, then this two is a disconnected graph. That means when we learn the path and walk, then it would be clear what is called the connected graph and what is called the disconnected graph. At least we find one path moving from vertex to vertex. At least one path we will get. That means if we move this way, then we cannot move. So this is the disconnected graph. So now we are talking about the connected graph, like that, or like that. We are alternative, we are here. Now, connected simple graph means no parallel edges and no self loop. Proof n into n minus 1 by 2. Let G be a connected simple graph with n number of vertices and e number of edges. From the theorem of the first theorem, sum of the degree of the vertices equal to the twice the number of edges. That we know. So from that we can write I is equal to 1 to n, dvi is equal to twice e. From this, the statement of a graph, the first statement, from that we can write I is equal to 1 to n, dvi is equal to twice e. That already learned and we already proved that. So or dv1, break it, this some notation, we can say dv1 plus dv2 plus dvn is equal to twice e. Again, we know degree of any vertex in a simple graph with n vertices cannot exceed n minus 1. So maximum degree of this we can consider n minus 1, this is n minus 1, this is n minus 1. When we are considering this is n minus 1, this is n minus 1, this is, that means we are considering the maximum degree of the vertex is n minus 1. It cannot be exceed n minus 1 from the previous theorem that we already learned. So when we are writing the n minus 1, that is the maximum degree of the vertex, n minus 1, n minus 1, n minus 1 greater than equal to twice e. So from that we'll get changing the side like that, 2e equal to dv1 plus dv2 plus dvn less than equal to n minus 1 plus n minus, this is how many? N times. So n into n minus 1. So from that we'll get 2e less than equal to n into n minus 1 or e less than equal to n into n minus 1 by 2. Hence the theorem. We can prove it, that is the alternate proof. Let G be a connected simple graph with n number of vertices and e number of edges. That the same graph we are considering with n number of vertices and e number of edges. Since G is a simple graph, it is free from the self loop and parallel edges, and hence any two vertices of G determined at most the one edge. So if we take the two vertex, so from the two vertex we will get the one edge. So by taking the group of the two vertex we will get the one edge. How many vertices we have? N. So we can choose two vertices in how many ways from the n number of vertices? That is the NC2. NC2 we can choose. For one edge we need the two vertex. So pair of two vertices gives us the one edge. So two vertices we can choose from the n number of vertices is NC2 wedge. Therefore, the total number of distinct edges that can be formed with n vertices of G is at most NC2. At most NC2. So NC2 we can write E less than equal to NC2. That is the maximum number of edges we can form from the n number of vertices taking two number of vertices. So E less than equal to NC2. What is the value of NC2? Is n into n minus 1 by 2. So E less than equal to n into n minus 1 by 2. Hence the theorem. That is the alternate way we can prove it. Now example. For a graph G with n vertices and E number of edges, prove that del G less than equal to 2E by n less than equal to del G. Now it is given that small del G is the minimum degree among the degree of V1, V2, Vn. Whatever the degree of the vertices is there, that is minimum of that is denoted by small del G and maximum of that is given by capital del G. From that we have to prove small del G less than equal to twice E by n and twice E by n less than equal to capital del G. Solution. We know sum of the degree of the vertices of a graph is equal to 2 into number of edges, that we can write into the our summation notation. I is equal to 1 to n, dvi is equal to twice E. From that we can write, we can write again summation I is equal to 1 to n dvi is equal to twice E equal to summation, again we can write equal to summation I is equal to 1 to n dvi. Then we can break it into the expanded by degree of V1 plus degree of V2 plus degree of Vn equal to twice E equal to degree of, again right hand side, degree of V1 plus degree of V2 plus degree of Vn. That way we can write this. Let's see. Again from the given problem, del G is the minimum degree of the vertex, that is less than equal to dvi, and less than equal to del G since it is the minimum degree of the vertex from all the degree of the vertices, and capital del G is the maximum among the degree of the vertices, I is equal to 1 to n. So from this we can write this way, degree of V1 degree of V2 plus degree of Vn dot dot equal to twice E equal to degree of V1 plus degree of V2 plus degree of Vn. This side we are considering the minimum del G, all are replaced by the del G because this is the minimum, so this sign should be the less than equal to, and right hand side all we are replaced by the capital G. Since capital G is the maximum, so that sign should be changed by greater than equal to. In this case we are considering the minimum, or in this case we are considering the maximum. So all will be replaced by del G plus del G less than equal to twice E less than equal to del G plus del G. Because this is the maximum, so this should be the greater than equal to, and since del G is a minimum, so it is less than equal. How many terms is there? N times. That means n number of terms is there. Here also n number of terms. So next step, what we can write? N del G. That is n number of del G, n del G less than equal to twice E less than equal to n capital del G, n capital del G. From that, dividing both sides, this is the inequality and n is greater than 0. That means positive. This n number of vertices is greater than 0. That is positive. So we can divide both sides. by the n, and we'll get del G less than equal to twice E by n less than equal to del G, capital del G. Small del G less than equal to twice E by n less than equal to capital del G root. How many vertices? Another example. Now we am considering the example, two examples. How many vertices are necessary to construct a graph with exactly 12 edges in which each vertex of the degree 3? What are the given for that the graph? Now we have to check it is possible to construct a graph. What are the things are given? We are considering that we have the 12 edges and each and every vertex have degree 3. So with the help of this information, we have to conclude it is possible to construct a graph, yes or no. That means we have the edges and degree of the vertex. So from that we have to find out the number of the vertices. If number of vertices is in integer, then we can say it is possible. If the number of vertices comes after calculation, it is the fraction value, then we can say it is not possible to construct a graph with the help of the given information. Now let's see, we know solution. We know sum of the degree of the vertices of a graph is equal to twice into E, where is the number of edges of the E is the number of edges of the graph. So this is we can write I is equal to 1 to n, dvi equal to twice. This is we can write in this way, dv1 plus dv2 up to dvn is equal to twice E. Now E is given, what is the exactly 12 edges. So we can replace E by 12 and degree of the vertices for each and every vertex of the degree 3. So we can write 3 plus 3 plus 3. How many? We have the n number of vertices. So we can write n times 3. 3 is repeating n times. Right hand side 2 into 12. That is the 12 number of edges in the graph. So from that we'll get, this is 3n, and right hand side is the 24. So we can write 3n equal to 24. From that we'll get n equal to 8. Since n equal to 8 is not a fraction, it is an integer value. From that we can easily conclude it is possible, it is necessary to construct a graph with the 12 edges and each vertex of degree 3. Hence 8 vertices are necessary to construct a graph with 12 edges in which each vertex is of degree 3. That means we need the 8 vertices for the satisfying the given conditions. For this example, it is possible to construct a graph and necessary vertices. That means we need 8 number of vertices to satisfy the conditions. Another example, it is possible to construct a graph with 15 vertices. That means here the vertex is given, 15 vertices is there. That means in the graph G have 15 vertices such that 5 of vertices have the degree 2. Out of 15, 5 vertex have the degree 2 and remaining vertices have degree 3. Remaining means 15 minus 5 equal to 10 vertex have degree 3. So in this case, we have to find out the number of edges. If number of edges is the integer value, then we can conclude it is possible to construct the graph with the number of edges. If it is the fraction number of edges, then we say our conclusion will be it is not possible to construct a graph with the given conditions. Solution. We know sum of the degree of the vertices. This statement we have to remember. Each and every definition and each and every statement of the theorem we have to remember. because when we are solving the problem, an advanced problem and the theorem, next theorem, whatever we'll get, we have to apply the statement of the previous theorem and also the definitions. So this is, I think, repeated so many times. So this is, we can write I is equal to 1 to n, dvi is equal to twice e, where n is the number of vertices of the graph and e is the number of edges in the graph. Now, from the given condition, out of the 15 vertices, 5 vertices have degree 2 and remaining vertices have degree 3. So we can write from this 5 vertex of degree 2 and 15 minus 5 degree 3, and right hand side is twice e. Out of 15 vertices, 5 have degree 2 and remaining degree 3. Remaining means 15 minus 5 into 3. So from that we are calculating what we will get. This is 10 and this is 10 into 3 means 30, and when 30 plus 10 is the 40. So from that we can write twice e equal to 40 or e equal to 20. Since e, number of edges in the graph, is an integer value 20, positive integer value 20. It is not the fraction. So we can say it is possible to construct a graph with 20 edges and 15 vertices which satisfy the given condition. So along with the 15 vertices and 20 edges, along with the given conditions is given, it is possible. Complete graph. Now definition of a complete graph. We already learned the definition of regular graph. A simple graph in which there exists an edge between every pair of vertices is said to be a complete graph, or a universal graph, or a clique. That means in a graph, each and every pair of vertices have an edge. Every pair of vertices has an edge. If we consider any pair of vertex, each and every pair of vertex have an edge. A simple graph means there is no loop and parallel edges. Each and every pair of vertex have an edge. That means there exists an edge. Is known as the complete graph. This is the complete graph of the two vertex. This is complete graph of the two vertex. This is complete graph of the three vertex. This is complete graph of the four vertex. This is not the vertex. Intersection of two edges is not the vertex. This is also we can draw like that. One edge we can draw like that. Intersection of the edges are not the vertex. This is the four vertex complete graph. This is five vertex complete graph. This is six vertex complete graph. That means simple way we can say complete graph is a graph. Each and every pair of vertices has an edge. In a complete graph of n vertices, the degree of every vertex is n minus 1, C. When it is the three vertex, degree of this is 2, degree of this 2, degree of this 2. In this sense, it is a regular graph also. Degree 2, that means the number of vertices is 3, 3 minus 1 is 2. Here, how many vertices is there? 4 vertices is there. And degree of this vertex is 3, degree of vertex 3, degree of vertex 3, degree of vertex 3. So 4 minus 1, degree of vertex is 3. Here 5 vertices is there. Degree of this vertex is 4, degree of this vertex is 4, degree of vertex is 4. That means from the other 4 vertex is connected to this vertex, self vertex. That's why degree of this is less than 1 as many vertices in this graph. This is the 6 This is the 6 vertex complete graph. If we consider this, all the rest, this is the 6 or 8 vertex. This is the 8 vertex, not the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4 and 4. This is the 8 vertices complete graph. So if we consider this, another 7 vertices are connected to this. This. So this is the degree of this, except this, other 7 are connected to this. 8 minus 1 equal to 7. That explanation is here. In a complete graph of n vertices, the degree of every vertex is n minus 1 and the number of edges is nc2 equal to n into n minus 1 by 2. nc2, that is n into n minus 1, the number of edges, but degree of the vertex is n minus 1. Since it is free from the self loop and parallel edges and every vertex is joined with every other vertices through exactly the one edge. A complete graph is always a regular graph, that is all vertices are of the same degree. But every regular graph is not a complete graph. If these two edges is not here, this two edge, so degree of this vertex will be 2, degree of vertex will be 2, degree of vertex will be 2, degree of vertex will be 2. If the edges is not here, these edges, only this edge, this edge, this edge and this edge is this edge present. So degree of the vertex will be 2. What is the definition of the regular graph? Each of every vertex have the same degree. Every vertex have the same degree. That's why we can say every regular graph is not a complete graph, but every complete graph is a regular graph. Remember that every regular graph is not a complete graph, but complete graph is a regular graph. Subgraph. Definition of a subgraph. A graph G dash is called a subgraph of a graph G. Let us consider subgraph is denoted as G dash. It's called a subgraph of a graph G. We have the two graphs. One is the G and another is the G dash. If all the edges and vertices of G dash present in G in simple way, an incidence property of the edges in G dash should be satisfy the incidence property in G. You can say now a graph G dash is called a subgraph of a graph G if all the vertices and all the edges of G dash are in G and each edge of G dash has the same end vertices in G dash as in G. That means it should satisfy the incidence property in G dash in G. That means corresponding vertex in G dash should be the corresponding vertex in G. The graph in the figure G dash is a subgraph of the graph G. That is in the next slide. A graph we can say in our the graph notation. A graph G dash vertex set is the V dash and S set notation is E dash and phi dash is our the function. Said to be the subgraph of a graph G, V, E, phi only if it satisfies all the three conditions. First condition is the V dash should be the subset of V, E dash should be the subset of E, and we can say phi. That means phi dash E is equal to phi. That means E is corresponding to the edge. That edge is the same. In the G dash, vertex pair corresponding to E should be the same in the G vertex pair corresponding to the E in G, that should be the same for all E belongs to E dash and also E. While for constructing in an inducer subgraph, subdigraph must take the, it is in the next slide. We have, when we are drawing the subgraph, we should take care for it is present in the V set. Here instead of the V dash we are considering the W. This is the our graph G and this is the subgraph. See this part is this. So this vertex is here, this vertex is here and this vertex is here. If we give the name V1, V2, V3, V4. So this would be the V2, V3, V4. And this is the edge. Edge name should be the same. So this is the subgraph of this. Because each and every edge and each and every vertex is present in G dash, present in G. And corresponding vertices corresponding to the edges is the same. That means in vertices corresponding edges is the same. This is also the subgraph of graph, this part. And taking this part also is the subgraph. So today is up to that. Next class we learn the theorem, few theorem, few observations is there relating to the subgraph. A graph G is a subgraph of itself. If we consider the G, because each and every vertex is present itself and each and every edge is present itself and it is satisfying the incidence property itself. That's why G is a subgraph of itself. Now subgraph of a graph G is a subgraph of G. Suppose G is there, one subgraph of G. From that we get the another subgraph. Suppose G dash, G double dash is the subgraph of G dash and G dash is the subgraph of G. Then we can say G double dash is the subgraph of G. G double dash is the subgraph of G dash and G dash is a subgraph of G. Then we can say G double dash is the subgraph of G. That is this. A subgraph of a graph G is a subgraph of G. A single vertex of a graph G is a subgraph of G. Any vertex of a graph G is a subgraph of G. Similarly, a single edge together with the n vertex, edge cannot be defined unless we are considering the end vertices. It cannot be the edge. When you are considering the single edge, always we are considering the end vertices. So single edge together with its end vertices of a graph G is a subgraph of G. Next lecture we are considering, that would be the lecture 34 for the code MCSE 301 and lecture 31 for the code MIT 301. Again, we are considering the few theorem examples and few definitions in the next class.